The Buffalo Bills in Super Bowl 27, we talked with a few fans in each of the cities. And that's when we met up with this enthusiastic fella.
We're the Bills, and I can't wait to rub this in his face. You've been telling us this for over 10 years about Dallas. You're the Bills. Always tied, 3 times, the 3rd time is a charm. Dallas is going down, Gary. Only Buffalo is going to win it. Dallas is going down, Gary.
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am your host, Tommy. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and hit that thumbs up. Hey, I got one thing I want to play because boy, did I predict this, and I pretty much got it right, baby. Let's take a look here. On Buffalo's offense, we got what? Josh Allen, runner-up in MVP, baby. He's starting off a little rough, but as you can see from last week, he's starting to pick it up a little bit. Forget about it. I think that this game, Josh Allen will throw for over 300 yards. I think he's going to have 4 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. I think the Buffalo Bills are going to demolish those Washington Red. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm old school. I'm old school, baby. Washington football team. I think they're going to squash them, baby. Forget about it. I think the score is going to be 41-9. 41-9. You heard it here. Forget about it. You heard it right here. 41-9. Tommy knows best. Well, did I not nail that, huh? Josh Allen, over 300 yards, 4 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. I knew it. Listen, I called this on Friday. I told you guys. I said, listen, after week 2 and that second half, I saw the Bills starting to wake up on offense, starting to get things right. You could see it happening, right? And this was the perfect game that at home against Washington, who's going to get a little hyped up because of their defensive line, which they should. They have a hell of a defensive line, no doubt. But I knew that this offense would come back. They would get their mojo, and this was the game that they were going to do it. And I called it. Matter of fact, on Friday, I'm on #sports, tailgate talk, and I actually said my hot take was Josh Allen's going to get over 350 yards passing. He did, 358. So there you go in a nutshell. I predicted it. I was right. I was damn close on the score, by the way. I said 41-9. It was 43-21. I mean, that's about as close as you're going to get. Okay. Not easy to totally guess the score correctly, but I was damn close. Okay. I got Allen's stats 100% pretty much right. But yeah, that game was perfect as far as team, like the whole team effort, right? Both sides of the ball played their part this game, right? And that's something that last year was the problem, right? The offense was doing their part, and the defense was struggling, right? All last year, they could not figure it out, right? Defense. What did they say after through week 3, week 4, week 5? They couldn't find it. They couldn't find their identity. And I didn't understand it because it was the same team, that same defense that was the top 5 defense since I believe 2017. when McDermott came aboard. So 2017, 2018, 2019, and then all of a sudden in 2020, it's just gone. Like you just couldn't figure it out. So it was a little weird to me. But like I said, there were some things with that too that come into factor, right? So the COVID thing, right? Star being out, which was huge, by the way. No fans in the stands. You know, it's a big deal, right? Offenses can hear a little bit different, right? So this year, boy, oh boy, did it turn around. So week 1, week 2, week 3, the defense is looking like the best in the league as of right now. And I don't see that changing. Leslie Frazier has this team on edge. Like they are just motivated this year. I think they heard the critics from last season. And got to give it to Frazier, who is calling perfect defensive schemes through these games. I mean, honestly, the Pittsburgh game, we should have won. It was just the offense fell flat. The defense really held their job. If it wasn't for the special teams blunder, maybe we could have won that game, right? And then also some offensive play calling by Dable, some bad fourth down play calls, terrible in the red zone. So that game really wasn't on the defense. That was all our offense had to do was play 50% of what it was last season, and we win that game. But unfortunately, we were just really off, and it was kind of like finding our groove, finding our way back. And like I said last week, in that Dolphin game, the first half, I was like, all right, I still don't like what I'm seeing. The offensive line is still it's still like having their issues. Josh Allen's still kind of, I still didn't like the play calling. Like Knox wasn't getting involved. And I said at halftime, I went on hashtags halftime report. I told him, I said, listen, the second half, they got to get Dawson Knox involved. They got to get Josh Allen rolling out of the pocket more, because Josh Allen, when he gets out of the pocket, he's the most dangerous quarterback in the league, in my opinion. Okay. The guy, to me, Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the league on throwing on the run. I just believe that he is. He drops dimes. He throws darts right in between the numbers, or he puts the ball where a defender just does not have a chance on making a play. And you just can't teach that. Sometimes that's just Josh Allen, right? That's what he does. And this game, you saw that on a few plays, which I'll get to later. But man, the guy is unbelievable. And I just felt like week 1, and then for that first half of week 2, he was just not himself. Like I felt like he was staying in the pocket a little bit too much, maybe a little bit too stiff. I felt like he was backtracking out of the pocket because the line was collapsing. And instead of him rolling out, he was kind of like throwing off his back foot a little bit. And it kind of like took a little velocity off the ball. It just didn't look right. Like I could just tell. Like that's not the way Allen plays. Now, this game, when he did stay in the pocket, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I saw a huge improvement. He didn't step back. He stepped forward. So he sidetracked the defender. He stepped into the pocket, and he made some beautiful passes. That's the Josh Allen we want to see. Like that's the MVP Josh Allen. But I just want to go over like a few things real quick. Especially this is huge. The red zone work. Okay. Week 1, we are 1 for 4. God awful. And that's a huge reason why one of the biggest reasons why we lost, right? Couldn't score. 1 for 4 is unacceptable for this team. Unacceptable for any team, but especially this offense. Totally unacceptable. The play calling was bad. Everything was just not good. Week 1 in the red zone. It was a disaster. Okay. And me watching the game, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, this is not what we do. Week 2, 4 for 4 in the red zone. We win 35-0. Week 3 against the Washington football team. We are 4 for 6. Okay. Look at these scores. Look at the difference. Week 1, we score 16 points. Unacceptable. Week 2, 35 points. Week 3, 43 points. By the way, all very good defenses. Week 1 through 3. Okay, I don't want to hear we went against the Jets. And that's why, we're showing out on offense. Now we're all of a sudden looking good because we're going against a terrible team, right? Now, let's say if this was against the Texans week 3 instead. Okay, you know what? Fine. I'll listen to that. I'll listen to that argument, but that's not the case. Not the case at all. The Miami Dolphins game. They don't have the best front, but they have hella cornerbacks. Now, they lost to the Raiders, by the way, in a very close game. Very close. Came down to field goal in overtime. They almost lost, to be honest with you. They almost lost. Couple, suspect calls on the refs. But hey, I'll take it because they're in AFC East. They're 1-2. I'm loving it. I was obviously rooting for the Raiders to win because I don't give a shit about the Raiders. The Raiders are, to me, they're 3-0, but they're not a 3-0 team, if that makes any sense. I have no faith in the Raiders. I just don't. But anyways, came very close. And by the way, the Raiders, they beat 2 very good teams, right? So Miami is not like a pushover, and we blew them out the water. Okay? Blew them out the water. 0 points. Washington, they have one of the best defensive front in the NFL. Not only one of the best, one of the youngest. They're solid. And I got to give it up to the offensive line. They held their own in this game. Were they great? No. Were they good? Yes. If I had to grade them, I say good B. For sure. Okay, a B-, let's say, because I still feel like the run blocking is not the best on this team. This offensive line, it just seems like it's a pass blocking offensive line. Like they're I would say they're good on pass blocking, pretty bad on the run blocking, in my opinion. I hope I hope they get better, but it just seems that's the way it is. And listen, that's probably another big reason why we pass a lot. Listen, it is what it is. And I want them to run the ball more, of course, but sometimes it's like getting 1 yard or 0 yards or 2. It's just kind of a waste of a down. And obviously you can't go away from the run. I'm not saying that, but the offensive lines, I don't know, man, like OG Bobby Johnson or something. He needs to really like figure this out more, or like maybe alternate some of the offensive line when you're doing like a running play or something. I don't know. I really, that part I'm a little baffled. I don't know what to say. I have a feeling that next season they will they'll work on the offensive line. I'm pretty sure this won't be the same offensive line you see next season. But they're good enough right now to do the job, in my opinion. Okay. But they did a hell of a job protecting Josh in this game, no doubt about it. So Josh Allen in this game, 32 of 43 for 358 yards, 4 touchdowns with one rushing touchdown, just like I predicted. So 5 total touchdowns. Hell of a game if you're, by the way, if you have him on your fantasy team, which I do. He killed it for you. He probably won your game this week. I know he did for me, because the weeks before I lost because his numbers weren't the best. Now, last week, actually, his numbers were pretty good. So I'll take that back. But they weren't like this, this week. So let's backtrack and let's see Allen's stats just through week 1 through week 3 as of right now. So week 1, we all know 30 of 51, 270 yards, 1 touchdown. So he threw 51 times, 30-51, not the greatest completion percentage. Yards were okay, but I mean, he should have had that with 51 passes, 1 touchdown. And that's because of the red zone. Red zone work was terrible. Should have had that game, honestly, should have had at least 3. At least, and we should have won. But whatever, that game's in the past. Moving forward. Week 2, 17 of 33 for 179 yards and 2 touchdowns. We blew them out 35-0. Listen, that they have a hell of cornerbacks. Very sticky. But I know he could play better than that. Okay. It wasn't a bad game. I'm not saying it was a bad game, but it wasn't a Josh Allen game to me, to be honest with you. And I kind of feel like that still goes back on the play calling in that game. Now, it was better in the second half. And that's why I knew this game, I kind of saw like the writing on the wall. Like I had a feeling the offense was finally going to wake up. Week 3, right? I just told you 32 of 43, 358 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 rushing. I mean, you could see him getting better as the weeks go on, right? Now, as far as receiving goes, everybody right now is getting their hand on the ball, right? It's beautiful. It really is. And I still think Diggs is going to get over 1,000 for sure. But I initially had Diggs getting about 1,600 yards, like 1,500, 1,600 yards, somewhere around there. I don't know now because I think Allen's just really spreading the ball a lot to so many different receivers. And you got to remember, Diggs is the number 1. So corners, he's going to play the best corner on every team, every game. Sometimes they're going to double him too. You know what I mean? Like, so it's going to be, I think it's going to be a little bit tougher this year for Diggs to get like that crazy amount of yards. I still think he's going to go well over 1,000, no doubt. But I don't know about what I initially thought because Allen just seems like he's just finding everybody at this point. And that's why I said in the beginning of the season, we are super deep at receiver. So look, Cole Beasley had, I think, almost 100 yards this game, right? Cole Beasley didn't do much last week or the week before. I think he only had like 40 yards in the week 1 game or something like that. Or the week 2 game. So it was his coming out this week. Diggs, I think, had 65 yards this game. Gabe Davis, not much. Now, there's one guy that is right now not getting the love he should deserve. And I'm going to tell you who it is. Dawson Knox. Dawson Knox should be getting the ball thrown to him way more. He's showing in this season that his hands are right, that his hands are there finally. The one thing that we knocked him since he was a rookie, the drop balls, the inconsistency, right? He is finally coming to his own, right? Like he's finally stepping up this season and making plays, especially when we need him to. So look, week 1, he's 4 for 4 targets, 4 catches, didn't drop 1, 41 yards. Week 2, 2 for 3, 17 yards, but he had a crucial touchdown, right? Week 3, 4 for 5, so he dropped 1, 49 yards and a touchdown, and a big touchdown, by the way. A beautiful catch, a beautiful throw. Okay, not many tight ends can make that catch. Obviously not many. I don't think any quarterback can make that throw, in my opinion. On the run, especially. I just feel like, listen, 4 targets, 3 targets, 5 targets. I see there. Should be getting more targets. He should be getting more targets than 4. So he's averaging what, 4 a game? Listen, I think the guy's showing that he can be reliable in this passing game. I think you need to get Knox more involved with this offense. Okay. Because if we do, we're gonna I just don't see how defenses can defend that. How can they? Right? When Dawson Knox is getting potentially, let's say 75 yards a game. Let's say 75 to be whatever, conservative. I think he can get more, but let's just say 75. Man, with a touchdown. That's a huge season for him. That is a big season. Right now, he's averaging what? Let's say 35 yards a game. Yeah, not that good. Not that good, but he's catching everything thrown his way. He's getting big touchdowns when needed, right? He's making also like big plays to get a first down. So he's being really reliable with that. Let's see here. Pierre. I know you're talking here. Pierre, are we about to root for TB12 this Sunday against the Pats? Good question. No. Listen, I'm not. Here's my thoughts on Tom Brady. I don't hate him. I respect him because he is the GOAT. He is. Well, let's just be real. Okay. What does he have? 7 rings? Something, right? You can't argue that. Like, he's the GOAT. He's the greatest quarterback of all time. However, I hate New England. I do. They're in our division. But New England's so bad. Like, you don't need to root for Tom Brady because New England's going to lose. They're going to lose. So I'm not going to root for anyone. But New England's not winning that game, dude. Like, that's not happening. It'll be interesting. I'll be watching for sure just to see, because I hate Belichick. I think I hate Belichick more than Brady because I don't really hate Brady. He was just annoying because he was in our division for so long. And, what did we win? Like 2 or 3 games against them or something crazy low number like that. Let's see, Shane. The Bills D is whammy model. Forget. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. They get the whammy award, right? Whammy. The whole defense. Yeah, I'm gonna get on the defense in a minute, man, because the defense is eating candy. They're eating candy early. It's not even Halloween, man. Like, the defense is playing out their minds, man. Like, they really are. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But back on Knox. Listen, Dable, get him involved. Let's get Dable involved. I get the running back situation. It ain't gonna happen. I've come to realize that now. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Like, I love Singletary. I do, but God, I feel so bad for him, man, because we just don't have a run blocking offensive line. And I get we still have to run a little bit. And by the way, I will say this: Zach Moss did show up the last 2 weeks. I got to give him that. He did have the fumble against Miami, but he bounced back. He had some awesome running plays, and that's why we got him, right? That's why we drafted him, because he's that hard-nosed runner, right? He's going to take the hit and move forward. And he showed that week 2 with some big touchdowns. And then this game here, when we needed him to run the ball, he showed up. He did. I'll give him that. It wasn't an awesome game by any means. It wasn't like he, ran unbelievable, but he made some good runs. I'll give him that. But we're just not a running team. So I'll have to just take that for what it is. But back on Knox. Knox has to get involved more with this offense. And I know Josh loves Dawson Knox. They seem like they're like stepbrothers, right? I know you guys saw that celebration, right, in the end zone. So obviously they got like a connection, right? Like they're really probably really good friends. I would just assume they always seem to have some goofy like touchdown celebration. They seem tight. So I don't think it's the fact that Allen doesn't trust him. Maybe it's just a play calling. Maybe Dable doesn't trust Knox as much, right? So he's not calling many plays for Dawson Knox. But the way Dawson Knox is playing for the first 3 weeks, this might change. Dable may now go back into his playbook and make some plays for Dawson Knox to get more involved with the offense. And I think that you are going to see Dawson Knox more involved starting next week. Okay. And I'm going to talk about that game on Friday. I'll do my game preview and prediction on Friday. Forget about it. That episode. But yeah, let's get on the defense, man. Let's get on the defense. So week 1, they played great. They really did. The only thing I will say that I didn't like, and it's not a big deal, was in the fourth quarter when we needed the desperate stop. They didn't make it. Okay. But geez, overall, man, they only gave up like 16 points, right? Like they didn't give up a lot. If it wasn't for the special teams block for a touchdown, the defense played lights out. They did. The only thing we could have done better is to get some turnovers, and we didn't that game. Scott Blakely, let's see here, brother. Some players evolve. First year rare, some second common, third year most common. Knox will be a stud this year. Yeah. Exactly, Scott. That's what I'm saying. So, listen, Knox is doing like the Josh Allen kind of thing in the offseason, right? I think Knox like went above and beyond to better himself by doing the tight end university thing. Like I keep saying this about like some of our players. They don't need to do some of the things they're doing in the offseason. The offseason is their right to do whatever the fuck they want, right? They want to go chill at the fucking South Beach until OTA start. That's their right. However, we have players like Josh Allen who are going to see specialists to work on his mechanics. Doesn't need to. He just did it. Or going to see Jordan Palmer to help him out with more stuff, right? Dawson Knox going to this tight end university thing. It wasn't like Buffalo Bills told him he has to do it. He just went ahead and did it. Why? Because he wants to better himself for the team, right? So, and it's showing. It really is showing. You know, I joked around a little bit about the tight end university thing in the beginning, but I gotta say, and I'm being real here. I would love for like more position groups to be doing this in the off season. Like a running back university or offensive line university. Like honestly, get some of your better offensive line. That's so helpful for some of these players, especially guys that are like struggling or trying to make a team. Let's say they're they didn't get drafted and they want to do something like that to maybe make a team. I think it's brilliant. I think it's a great idea. And I think maybe you might see more of that happening eventually. Like for certain position groups. Why not? I would do it for sure. 100%, no doubt. Unless I'm a stud player. Like listen, if they had a wide receiver university, you're not going to see Stephon Diggs out there, learning. However, you might see Stephon Diggs out there teaching. Very possible. Very possible. Let's see here. Scott. Or did I already say that? No? Okay. By the way, congrats on being spot on with the results of the Washington football team. But I must say I was right there with you. You're becoming one of my favorites. No BS. Oh, thanks. Hey, Scott, man. Thank you so much, brother. Like, I do appreciate you coming on, man. Like, listen, you guys, now I'll be real quick with this. I am new at this kind of. I've been doing it for like a year now. Live, I've been doing it for like solo, maybe, I don't know, 2 months. And I appreciate you guys, man. I do, man. Like I really, really do. For those who join my channel, those who you watch, take your time to watch me because I know there's like so much more Buffalo Bills content out there. Trust me, I do. But thank you. Like honestly, I want to say thank you for that. Anyways, moving forward. So when I said on Friday with this Washington game, I told people. Matter of fact, I was on a show. I'm going to name the show, whatever. I mean, I'll name the show. Breaking Tables podcast. I was on, I believe, Thursday. They had a Washington, I got another Washington football team podcaster, and he was on there, and I gave him my prediction, which was 41-9. And I told him, I said, listen, and he was like, oh my God, that's ridiculous. You're totally disrespecting the team. I can't believe you do that. There's you're just totally disrespecting our defense and blah, 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 blah. And I told him, I said, listen, I gave him the whole reason why. I told him, Taylor Heineke, right? He's only played a handful of games, if that. I think it's like that was like his third game, right? Third game ever in the NFL. Mind you, he's been in the league like 6 seasons altogether. It's only third game. He had like very little experience. Okay, so what? He played good in the playoffs, no doubt. No, I'll give him that. The one game against Tampa Bay. Mind you, one game. No film on the guy. No film. Okay, and I'll give you, and I gave examples about this, by the way, on players with no film that are new. Defenses eventually they watch film on you. They know exactly what your weaknesses are. They know how they scheme for you, right? But if they've never seen you before, sometimes it happens. You might have a good game, right? Because they don't know what to expect. They don't know you're a runner. They don't know you scramble. They have no idea. They've never seen you. So I think that's maybe it caught him off guard and he had a decent game. And I'm not saying he's awful. I'm not saying he's awful, but he's a backup. He's, from what I see, he is the backup quarterback. So Washington fans can sit there and dream that he was going to be their future. It's not real. It's not reality. Like, I've been down that road before. I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. We all know too well about quarterbacks coming through Buffalo and hoping this is the guy. This is the guy. This is the guy. This is the guy. No, it's not. You got to draft a quarterback that's right, just like we did. It's going to take time to find the right one. But when you do, it works out, right? Most of the time. He's not the guy. And I said that. And he got not upset, but he was like, "Oh, you'll see." And I told him, I said he's going to go for under 200 yards. I was really close. He had 212. Mind you, like that last touchdown, we shouldn't have allowed. But whatever, it is what it is. I can't listen. He had 212 yards. That's not good. That's not good. 14 for 24. 2 interceptions. Almost 3, by the way. Almost 3. We didn't sack him. I think maybe we had 1 sack, and I don't even recall it. Somehow I got it on the stat sheet. He's a scrambler, but other than that, take away his reads, get him on the run where he made some terrible decisions, and that is lack of playing in the NFL. That's lack of he's just not a starting quarterback. I mean, I just had a feeling. Listen, you're going against Leslie Frazier, defensive coordinator, one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL, with one of the best defenses in the NFL, right? With the best safeties in the NFL, Jordan Pryor, Micah Hyde. So I'll be real with you. Listen, there's a lot of homers out there, and they'll say their whole team's the best, every player's the best. And I'm not that guy, but I'm going to be real with you. Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde are so underrated. It's crazy to me. They are the best safety duo in the NFL, hands down. And it's crazy to me that these two guys have been together now for since 2017, I believe. Since 2017. It's wild, man. That doesn't really happen much. And I love those guys. I do. They make huge plays for us. They don't miss assignments. They can hit. They just make plays. And listen, I trust them. I've never been so confident about it. Safety duo for Buffalo forever. They barely ever get hurt. They're just solid players, man. Those are studs, man. Pro Bowlers, man. They should be in the Pro Bowl every season. That's just how they play, man. So back to the defense. Okay. I also said McLaurin, who's a good receiver. Listen, he's a very good receiver. Really good route runner. But I said he would get under 75 yards receiving. He had 62. I was right. I was right. I listen, I'm not trying to toot my horn here, and I'm not trying to say I'm a genius. But he had a quarterback who's only played 3 or 4 games in the NFL, right? Going against a stud defense who's going to be on his ass. And not only that, you have Trey White guarding him. One of the best cornerbacks in the league. So I knew that was not I just knew he wasn't going to get over 100. I knew he was not going to have that kind of game. Okay, just wasn't going to happen. And I was right. 62 yards. That's it. I'll take that every day. Let's see here, Scott. Let's see here. Trey shut him down, no doubt. Yep. Unsung hero. Yeah, no doubt. Just like I said, Trey shut him down, but it wasn't just Trey. Like I said, it's a defensive effort, right? You get this guy out of the pocket, you get him under pressure, he makes mistakes, which because he's not a quality top 15 quarterback, right? He's just not. He's a backup. That guy will always be a journeyman backup quarterback in the league, in my opinion. And that's not a bad thing, by the way. That is not a bad thing. Listen, we're going to lose our backup next season. There's no doubt about it, and Mitch will be gone. I would take Taylor Heineke as a backup. Of course. Why not? He's not that bad. Just not a starting quarterback, you know? Gibson, by the way, rushing, 31 yards. 31. By the way, we've been stuffing the run. What was our knock last season? Even the season before when our defense was top 5. We are not that good against stopping the run, right? Our defense has really showed out this first 3 weeks against the run. Like, their teams are having a very tough time running against us. Star being back is huge. Ed Oliver, by the way, I know he's not getting like these unbelievable stats, showing on the stat sheet, but Ed Oliver is playing lights out, you guys. Go back, watch the film, rewatch. The dude is everywhere. He's pushing back the line. He's letting the floodgates open, just like Star. Star's getting double, triple team. He's opening up the floodgates. Week 3, this against the Washington football team, we didn't blitz as much. And I had a feeling we weren't. I thought we were going to mix it up and kind of like just disguise some sets. Play a little zone, kind of like fool him, which we did. And that's why he made those mistakes. I think we knew he was a runner. And if we had blitz him, he's going to take off. And he did a few times. And he did get some decent chunk yards running on us. He had a nice actually run for a touchdown. Let me see here. What about Edmonds? Yeah, I'll get to that, Jack. Do you think it was intentional to apply pressure but keep the pocket closed up last week? Were there? Yeah. So Scott, exactly what I was saying. So this game for sure was intentional. No doubt about it. We did like a kind of a zone defense this game. Because listen, week 2, when we rushed like from every angle, Tua, even though he was like a runner in college, he hasn't shown that in the NFL. And that's why I'm not really high on Tua, because I think Tua, since his injury in college, he's just not a mobile quarterback. And that's why I just don't think he's going to make it in the NFL, because I think he's just not he's an injury guy. I don't think he could take that hit. So anyways, I knew that we were going to rush him week 2 and bring different blitzes, because Tua, he's very bad off his first read. And then with the pressure, I just knew he would be stuck in the backfield, right? And that's what happened. We brung different blitzes from different angles, and it just really, he had nowhere to go. This game, like I said, Frazier will look at the tape, look at the film, and see what Taylor Heineke does well. And what does he do well? Gets out of the pocket. He runs. He's a shifty guy. I'll give him that. I will give him that. He's not slow by any means. I mean, the dude can run for him, but he's not a very tall quarterback, 6 foot. He's not short, but that's not tall for a quarterback. And pretty much he's a runner, right? So I felt like we were going to play like a zone defense and just kind of like trick him a little bit, bait him on some blitzes, and which we did. And he made some crucial mistakes. There were some plays there where he could have probably took off. Instead, he threw it into like double, triple coverage and threw an interception. There was one play where he was running and he like went like 3 yards past like where he was supposed to, and threw the ball past the line of scrimmage and got thrown for a penalty. So like you could see, like he's just not. That's why I'm saying he's not a starting quarterback. Like a real good quarterback knows where he's at, like with the ball. He knows better. He knows where the line of scrimmage is. And clearly, like it showed that he's just not that guy, right? He has a lot of work to do still. Let me see here. Scott, I think Edmonds played very well. A couple missed assignments, but in general, stout, great block throw. Yeah, man. Jack was saying that earlier too. What about Edmonds? So, hey, listen, tell you what I like about Edmonds. Shoot, I'm like popping everybody up here. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. Edmonds, listen, you guys, I think he's like 23 years old. The dude is super young. Okay. Like, I think some of our draft picks were older than him. Like, this guy's been calling the defensive plays for this defense since he was a rookie. That shows and tells you a lot as a Buffalo Bill fan, that they trust Edmonds a lot, that he's a very smart player. Because trust me, they're not going to give those play calls to a guy that doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So, what does that tell you? Like I said, smart player, and he knows how to read the offense, right? Like going against offense. The guy's been very good. Like, he doesn't get hurt much. He's a freak athlete. The dude is tall. He's big. Like, he's a big monster, dude. Like, that dude, if he hits you, like, good luck. He still makes some bad plays here and there, but listen, you guys, what is it, like his third season, right? What is it, fourth season? Third or fourth? Yeah, fourth season. I'm sorry, fourth season. Because he was drafted with Josh. You guys, we got to re-sign him. We do. He's so young. He's only getting better each season. I love the combination with him and Milano. And by the way, Milano, he is earning that contract. Okay. Is he not? Is Milano not earning the contract? 100%. 100% he's earning. And usually that's always the worry, right? When you give somebody a decent sized contract, right? Will he perform to his contract? And yes, the dude is performing to his contract. The only guy I could say that we signed that's so far not performing to the contract will be Darrell Williams. But he played a lot better this game. But he's still having some issues. And I hope it's just kind of rust. Maybe he's just getting into the groove of the season. Because I like the guy. I do. But it may be the one guy that's not earning the contract so far is Darrell Williams, which I still have confidence in him. I think he'll turn it around. Jack. Milano's beast mode. He on fire. Yeah, bro. Milano's just everywhere, bro. Milano's everywhere. Milano is hitting hard. Bro, I can't say enough for this defense. I'll go down the whole damn line. Right? AJ Epinesa is like taking dudes out. Right? Like when he's hitting you, you are feeling it, man. Like that dude is on a mission to wreck quarterbacks. Like that's the guy. Like if you like, listen, I don't like guys getting injured. I'm not for that. But jeez, don't let him hit you. Because you're going to feel that shit in the morning, man. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're going to feel that shit in the morning. Maybe better than 2019. Oh, dude. Right now, man, we are looking. This defense is on cue, man. But yeah, I'll run down. Listen. AJ Epinesa hitting dudes lights out, right? Like, remember Sean Marion? Lights out. AJ Epinesa, lights out, dude. Like, he is the new lights out. Like that dude. I'm telling you right now. AJ Epinesa. Trey White playing like Trey White does. Right? Like, we don't even talk about Trey White much because he just does his damn job. He's that good. Like, we don't even think about it. Trey White is so good, we don't even really talk about him. Because we're just so used to it. Am I right? Like, he's just that guy. Like, oh, yeah, Trey White. Yeah. He held their best receiver to 60 yards. Oh, yeah. He just did his job. Like, that's what he does, man. Taron Johnson, dude. Guy's gonna get better. By the way, he's young, fast. I like Taron Johnson, man. I do. Levi Wallace, listen, man. Levi brings his hard hat, brings his lunch pail, and goes to work, man. He's not the most gifted cornerback in the league, but the dude grinds, man. The dude is a grinder, and he shows up. He shows up. He does. He may make some plays that, receivers may make some plays on him from time to time, but the dude comes right back and does a good play. Like, I love Levi Wallace, man, for that. I really, really do. Undrafted, dude worked his ass off, and he's a starting cornerback on this team. So you got to give it to him. He's the number 2. Who else? I already talked about the best safety duo in the league, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, who get no love really from outside media, and they should, because they are the goddamn best. I am sorry. Like I said, I'm not this typical homer guy. I'm not saying everybody on our team is the best player at their position in the NFL. They are the best. I'm saying the best duo in the NFL. Okay, I'm not saying at their, like, Micah Hyde's the number 1 safety. No, I'm saying the best duo safeties in the NFL are Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. No doubt about it. No, that's it. Okay, they're number 1. Who else we got? Ed Oliver, not putting up stats that will wow you, but he's fucking playing unbelievable. He really is. Star Lotulelei getting doubled and triple teamed, freeing up everybody to do their job, right? Keep saying this, right? He's what is he doing? He's opening up the gates, right, for everybody else to feed. That's what he's doing. That's why we missed Star last season, doing his job, wrecking the offensive line. Jerry Hughes. I love Jerry Hughes, man. Dude, don't complain. Been on this team for a long time now. I think he's one of the few players remaining that was on before McDermott got here. One of the few remaining on the defense. Guy's a stud, man. I love Jerry Hughes. I hope he retires a Buffalo Bill. I really do. Mario Addison. Listen, man, Mario's old school, man. I still feel like he's doing his thing too. Gregory Rousseau. I think he's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, man. I think he is. Now, he didn't get any sacks this game, but boy, oh boy, I will talk to you guys on Friday, because he's getting his on Sunday against the Texans. He is going to get his. This is a totally different quarterback we're going against, buddy. This is not Tyrod Taylor, who is injured. This is not Taylor Heineke, who can run around, get out of the pocket. This guy's going to eat on Sunday. Okay, I'll get to that on Friday, then. Gregory Rousseau, like I said, doing his job, and doing his job very well for a guy that only played 1 season in college. Okay, freshman season, by the way. Who am I missing? Who am I missing on defense? Let's see here. Hold on. Jack. Let me see here. Jack. I missed Trey White a few times. My cousin knew him. Oh, I met Trey White a few times. My cousin knows him. He comes to Northern Cali to visit his aunt and family in off season. He's a cool young dude. Yeah, bro. Trey seems like a cool dude, man. Like, he really does, man. Like, he just seems like a fun guy, just out there having fun, man, with his team. And I'll tell you one thing too about this team, man. It's like a family, man. It really is, man. There's like no drama in the locker room. Everybody loves everybody. When the team loses, they all gather around. Like, they take the loss as one. Nobody points at fingers at anyone. They stick up for their players, right? Like, somebody, whatever. Josh goes down, offensive line's there. It's just we're one. We're one. I love that. And that's the McDermott way. That's what McDermott wanted. That was his vision. That was Brandon Beane's vision, right? Have a good locker room full of good guys that can ball too, right? It's not like good guys that suck, right? Just to get a good guy in a team. These are all guys that just gel really well together, and it's just it's like it's working as one, right? Like it's just connecting, right? Like a puzzle. Um, but another player I want to talk about too, real quick. Hold on, real quick. Let me get to Scott. Scott, let's say Basham in the rear. Basham in the rears too, just like Ebenezer. Oh yeah. So Boogie's probably not going to listen. Boogie may not play this season, because everyone's balling out. There's no reason unless there's an injury, which I really don't want that to be because we're just gelling right now. But this is good for Boogie to sit back and watch the vets like Jerry Hughes, Mario Addison, even a second year guy like AJ, like how AJ bounced back a second season. This is good for Boogie to sit back and watch these guys. But it also goes to show you how unbelievable Gregory Rousseau is and how dangerous Gregory Rousseau is by getting a lot of the snap counts starting week one. Like, that tells you a lot about Gregory Rousseau because Boogie Basham had way more experience in the college level, way more experience. And Gregory Rousseau, for as ripe as he is like showing like the dude should have been top 10, right? Defensive player taken, but in my opinion, the dude is, listen, it's not all about sacks. He's making awesome tackles for losses. He's making the quarterback work in that backfield. I'm loving everything I see from Gregory Rousseau, man. I'm just loving everything. Apex in the building. Listen, you guys, if you don't know Apex, that's Mikey. That is my buddy. We do a show, Tailgate Talk, on Fridays at 7:30 on #network. And it's my dude, man. My dude. Let's see here. Jack, can't wait till we get our run game established. Yeah. So listen, Jack. Here it is with the offense. It ain't gonna happen this year. Not gonna happen. And it's really not a running back's fault. It really isn't. It's just this offensive line is not built to run block, and it's the same offensive line as it was last season. The only difference is the guys came in healthy, right? There's no Brian Winters on this team this year, right? So Cody Ford's back. By the way, Cody Ford, who I was down on, I'm not going to lie. I was down on Cody Ford since he was a rookie. I thought he was lost, and I thought McDermott didn't know where to put him. I thought they were shuffling him around, and it's not a good sign, right? If you don't know where to put your offensive lineman, right? But I think they finally found a good spot for him, and he's showing out, man. And the injury thing seems to be behind him, and good for him, man. Honestly, good for him. I really thank God that this is working out for Cody Ford because I was nervous about Cody Ford. I really, really was. But as far as run blocking goes, I just don't think this offensive line, it's not how they're built, man. It's just not. Like, we could say we want more running. We should do more running. But listen, man, like you guys see the results, right? When we try to run the ball, sometimes we have some good, like sometimes like week 2, the offensive line, everybody did their job. Everybody, including the blockers on the outside, like Emmanuel Sanders, right? Like he made a key block for Devin Singletary to go like 47 yards, something like that. Everybody did their job, but it doesn't happen on a consistent level on the running. I see like they hand the ball for Singletary or Moss, and you got like 2 or 3 guys in the backfield like right away. It's not on the running backs. They're not Barry Sanders. There's only one Barry Sanders, and that motherfucker retired years and years and years ago. Not only did he retire, he retired early. He's on a shit team, and he was done with football because dude probably took so many fucking hits. And by the way, Barry Sanders, for as great as he was, I think he's the greatest running back of all time. I think he had like the most negative yards of any running back ever or something like that. Something crazy. Why? Because motherfucking defenders were in the backfield swarming him, and he still got away, right? But he couldn't get away every time. So I kind of feel like, and by the way, the Lions had to keep forcing Barry because he was their best player. We don't need to do that. We have Josh Allen. We have an offensive line that could block well enough for Josh Allen to do his thing. And that's why I don't think you're going to see the running game getting any better this season. However, next season, I really truly believe that they're going to do some offensive line work. They're going to get some different players in here. They have to, okay? Cannot continue to do like this. Let's see here, Scott. Apex, hold on. Apex. Mikey, agree, Scott. Great. Continues trying to grow game by game. Yeah, man. Let's see here. Scott says something. Scott. Interior line and one tech positions and draft need to develop next generation. Yeah, man. You got to, man. Listen, I always said, offensive line. I know it's not like a sexy pick in the draft. I get that. Like, like when you draft, everybody wants like a stud wide receiver or running back or whatever. Offensive line usually is that boring pick, but it's such an important pick. It's so important. Like, you guys, everything starts up front. Everything. And I said this for years. You got a bad offensive line. I don't give a shit who your quarterback is. He's going to get fucking killed in the backfield. These are just facts. It happens. If you have let's say even if you have an average good line and a great quarterback, then he can do his thing. If you have a good offensive line and an average quarterback, he'll play pretty good. That's just the way it works. The more time they have, the better they look. Because why? Because usually there's at least a couple of decent receivers on every team. Eventually, a receiver will break his free. That's just the way it works, right? That's why I keep saying Josh Allen sometimes needs to be getting out of the pocket more. Because there's teams like Miami that have really good DBs, and they are sticking on our receivers like flies. Well, guess what? They can't do that forever. So if Josh Allen's getting out of the pocket, getting more time, right? These receivers eventually will get open. That's just the way it works. And who better to throw on the run than Josh Allen? There's nobody. Josh Allen's the best on the run at throwing the ball. So, but my point is, on the offensive line, we have to address that next season, I think. It's too late now. I can't address it now. Let's just hope for no injuries, because we are very limited on offensive line. And it's not easy to find a good offensive lineman in free agency. It's not. They're just not around. Look at the teams. Matter of fact, look at the bad teams. I'll give you an example. The New York Jets. That poor kid, man, Zach Wilson, he is set up for disaster. The dude, listen, he's either going to get injured this season or he's going to play so damn bad because the offensive line can't protect. And he's just scrambling for his life, trying to throw the ball wherever, getting interceptions like he did last week or the week before when he had 4 interceptions. It's just bad. I feel bad for him. By the way, he has no veteran quarterback to go back to the bench to talk to. Nothing. They gave him garbage ass guys I've never even heard of. So the Jets, thank God I'm not a Jets fan, man. I feel bad because that team is terrible. Terrible terrible, apparently, coach. I know they like that coach, but I don't know. But I'm not a Jets. I'm not even getting into Jets. The Jets are bad. The Jets may not win a game. I'm going to be real with you. They may not win a game this season. You may see your first 0-17 team and the New York Jets. I swear to God, there may be listen, Houston may go 0-17 as well. I'm being real, man. It's bad. It's real bad. What's your thoughts on Rousseau getting rookie defensive play? Listen, I think it's possible. I think it's very possible Rousseau gets it. There's some games coming up. Like I said, I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna do my review Friday with Mikey. But I think Rousseau's gonna eat against the Texans. I think Rousseau is gonna get at least 2 sacks versus Texans. I just do. I think that quarterback. I got to look him up and look at stats, but I've never heard of him. Another quarterback I've never heard of in my life. But I saw some highlights. He is not like a scrambler. And I think this guy is set up for a very bad day versus our Buffalo defense at home, by the way, with a very loud crowd. And by the way, I thought the stadium would be maybe like 60,000. That shit was fucking packed. It had to have been at least 70,000 there, right? Like pretty much full. Loud. Nobody does it like the Mafia. We represent to the fullest, by the way. And this is I love the fact how this schedule worked out for us. We have, you guys, a fucking beautiful schedule. We have a fucking beautiful schedule. So the first 3 of 4 games were at home. Fucking unbelievable. And then the last 4 games, 3 of 4 are at home. Fucking beautiful. The 2 toughest games are coming up after Houston, which is on the road against Kansas City on Sunday Night Football, and then at Tennessee on Monday Night Football. Listen, KC is not playing the best right now. We are starting to get our mojo back, right? Like the offense, not the defense. Forget our defense is sick. I'm not even worried about it. Listen, if this thing, like if both sides of the ball are playing like we did week 3, oh, these teams have no chance. Like, I'm not being a homer. I'm being a realist here. I am being a realist because the offense still, listen, what you saw week 3 against Washington, I still don't think that's the best. I still don't think that's the best. I just don't. Like, honestly, we scored 43 that game. If that was last year's offense, like that, the way we were on that roll, like everybody on the same page, we would have probably had over 50 points. I think 55, 57, something like that. I really, truly believe that. Now we're going against Houston, a bad team, very bad team on both sides of the ball. I expect this offense to just keep gelling, like just keep going with their mojo. And this is not good for KC because going to KC, guess what? We are going to be feeling ourselves. We are going to have everything in check, in place. Like everything is going to be lined up for us where we are all on the same page finally, right? Like we got all that bullshit out of the way, that rust, that whatever the fuck was going on, right? We got it out of the way on, I would say, week 1 to the first half of the Dolphin game, right? Like I think it started all clicking, right? Like the wheels started turning finally, right? And we were like, okay, all right, right? I think Josh Allen, listen, it wouldn't be shocking if Josh Allen and Dable had a conversation after week 1, okay, about the offense, about the play calling. Like, trust me, like, listen, I'm going to tell you like this too, guys. I'm not a Dable guy, okay? You guys know that. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm not a big on Dable. However, I think he's gotten a lot better as an OC. I'm not gonna sit here and just shit on him. I think he's done. I think since he's been with us, he's improved every year, kind of like Josh Allen. And he's kind of molding with Josh Allen, right? Like they're both getting better together. And my number 1 knock with Dable, my number 1 was in-game adjustment. He's very bad at in-game adjustments. Well, last season was the first time I said, you know what? I got to give it to him. He's definitely stepped up with that part of his play calling. His in-game adjustments gotten way better. Him coming out of second half flat like he was in 2019 didn't really happen in 2020. I felt like the offense was just, if defenses, made their adjustments, Dable made his adjustments. That's was something he lacked in 2019, right? Like he just, in 2018 too, right? Just never could do that right. Start the season in 2021 against Pittsburgh. Dable went back kind of like to his old self again, right? In-game adjustments weren't there. The red zone efficiency, 1 for 4. That is uncalled for, especially with this offense. With the amount of weapons that we have going 1 for 4, it can never happen. It can never happen. Okay. Running Josh Allen, quarterback draws over and over and over. As you guys saw this last game, I didn't really see many of those. I did not. Right. I also saw Josh Allen get out of the pocket way more in this game. A lot of rollouts. Right. I also saw Allen stepping up in the pocket. And maybe that's more on Allen, but definitely the rollouts. I think he helped Allen a little bit also on the adjustments, the play calling. Right. He got Beasley more involved in slants. He got Dawson Knox a little bit more involved. Right. So Dable's mixing it up now. I think Dable's. That's why I'm saying I think Allen and Dable probably talked after week 1. I think Allen said, "Listen, I'm kind of not comfortable with this. Let's try this. Let's go with the simple approach week 2, which I believe they did. And as you can see, week 2 was like totally different start, right? So we got Devin Singletary a little bit early that game. Boom, broke out 47 yards. What did Miami do? After that, they pretty much stopped the running game, but it doesn't matter. Now we could do play action passes, right? Because now they have to play for Singletary. Right? They got to be honest. The defense has to be honest with Singletary, right? He just pulled a 47. So now Dable can start opening up the playbook on play action passes, RPOs, stuff like that, right? Instead of week 1 where you have Allen throwing for 51 times and barely getting the ball. So that's what I mean about the in-game adjustments. Because if you saw, he kind of changed week 1. He got Singletary in the 4th quarter going, but by then it was too late. Little too late. So Dable, I feel like, is learning on the job as well, even though he's been in the league forever. And he can kind of thank Allen for that. He's going to get a job because of Allen. Let's be real. Josh Allen's going to get Dable paid. He is. I do not think Dable is going to make it somewhere else. I'm sorry to say that for anyone who's a Dable fan out there. Let me see here. Scott. Yeah, I think you need to change your mind on Dable. He is learning as well. He's doing a great job, in my opinion. He also is able to extend the playbook as quarterback 17 matures. Yeah, listen, Scott. Who said that? Jack. Scott said that. Okay, so no doubt. Why am I doing that? I keep doing that, man. I'm showing everybody on stream, and I don't mean to do that. Sorry. Oh man, that's annoying. All right, guys, I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. Hold on, buddy. Let me try to get that. So Scott played what earn. Let me see here. Let me just get rid of that real quick. You see, I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know how to get rid of that crap. For some reason, it's highlighted, and I don't know how to get. Oh, there we go. Bingo, bango. All right, I'm learning, guys. Anyways, listen. That's why I'm trying to tell you. I'm not shitting all over Dable. I'm telling you. I think Dable has gotten better, no doubt. And to be honest with you, you really want to be honest. I think every one of these coaches, since coming to the Buffalo Bills, have gotten better. Right? Look at their track history. Just look at all of them. So you got Sean McDermott, who never was the head coach. He was always the defense coordinator, right? Or assistant coach or whatever. He got us to the playoffs in 2017, which shouldn't have happened. But it did, right? Thanks to Andy Dalton. But hey, good for him. But you could kind of see that he was molding the team right there, right? But that I don't even think that was the plan, right? Like I don't even think we were supposed to make it. We just weren't. But we did. We got in there by luck, let's say. 2018, we knew the deal. We knew everyone. Come on, if you're a Buffalo Bills fan, you're real. You're honest with yourself, right? You knew that was going to be a team that was probably not going to win many games, and that's okay. Like we got a rookie quarterback who wasn't even supposed to play, but wound up playing, and that's fine. He learned a lot. He learned on the go. Now 2019, right? So here it is. The team is starting to formate, right? Getting to a good form, starting to piece together, right? The pieces are coming together, right? We make the playoffs, right? We have a decent year. We won 10 games. Get to the playoffs. What happens? We lose to the Houston Texans. We were up. We should have won that game. that's a little bit on everybody, right? So Josh Allen starts off good, ends bad, right? Got to learn from that, and he did. Sean McDermott, some of the play calling on his part, bad coaching. It just was. Let's be real. Dable, once again, some of the play calling, pretty bad, right? Leslie Frazier, shouldn't have let that happen in the second half, right? Some of those plays that Houston made, that shouldn't have never happened. We were one of the best defenses that year, right? Should have never happened. What did we do? We go back to second year, 2020, okay? After making the playoffs, 2020. We get to the AFC Championship, right? Everybody learned from that first playoff game in 2019, right? So Josh Allen, right? So we go from 10 wins to 13 wins, right? Josh Allen, everything as far as stats wise for him goes up. Everything. Brian Dable calls way better games, calls way better plays, right? His in-game adjustments have totally did a 360, right? 2019, we were always come out flat out of the second half. 2020, different story, right? So Dable also was learning on the go. Frazier stepped up in big moments in 2020 against the Colts when it counted, against the Ravens, who, by the way, most people did not have us winning. They thought Lamar Jackson would run all over us and just beat us. Like, we had no chance against Lamar Jackson, blah, 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 blah. We shut him down. Not only we shut him down, we kicked him out of the game. Like, it just was that was a bad game. And I think if we play them again, it will be the same results. Okay. Frazier knows how to. Frazier's the best defense coordinator in my position, in my opinion. Okay. Anyways, we get to the AFC Championship. I will say this: it was bad. I think we lost by coaching. I think the coaching failed us in the AFC Championship game on a lot of fronts. Okay. I think Sean McDermott, I think he was playing very safe in that game. Against Kansas City, who, honestly, you don't, there is no safe. I think you got to, with a team like that, I think you got to let Josh be Josh. You got to take chances. And I think Sean McDermott learned, and I'm pretty sure he did, against that game. You cannot play safe against a high-powered offense, especially that season when our defense was struggling. And not only that, you played KC in the regular season and tried to do the same game plan. Just play it safe, keep Mahomes off the field. It's not how you play the Chiefs. It's not how you play the Chiefs. You got to listen, it's a battle. It's like boxing, right? Like two punchers. You got to just go for the knockout, and someone is going to get caught, right? That's how I thought that game was going to go. I really did. I thought it was going to come down to the fourth quarter. Last 2 minutes, whoever had the ball. That's how it should have went. That's not how it went. I just thought the game plan was really bad. And that's on Dable, and that's on McDermott. And I'm not saying the players don't deserve, the players are scot-free in this. They're guilty too. They didn't step up at all either. Like Josh Allen had a bad game, but like I said, man, listen, it all works as one, right? Everybody has to do their job. The coaches have to call the right plays for the players to do it, right? The players have to execute. That's how it works, right? So I don't think Dable put Josh in a good position. And listen, when we play the Chiefs this year, so maybe a little different story because our defense is playing like they did in 2018, 2019. However, I still think you got to put the gas pedal to the metal, and you cannot play it safe. You cannot just think that we are this different offense where we're going to run the ball, we're going to keep, time of possession is our key, is the reason why we should, that's how we're going to win the game. No, man, that's not how you should play that game. You should trust your defense, put your pedals to the metal, and do what you do best. Okay? Don't play into Kansas City hands. Do not play that game because you're going to lose every time. Right? You see how Kansas City lost these last 2 games, right? It's because teams are not scared. They're just playing their offense. They are not going into their mindset. Let's see here. Yeah, what's up, Scott? Let me see here. Yeah, I do. I saw. Let me read that. Keep in mind, David lost grandmother, and his grandfather now alone. Just saying, life is not all about money. David plays better than. Oh no, listen, hey. Let me see here. Let me see where you did that. I don't even know where you put that. I don't know where you wrote that. Either way, I don't know where you wrote that. Oh, there you go. But anyways, yeah. Listen, I know. I found out that he lost his grandmother after the game. I'm not here to shit on Dable, man. I'm not saying that. I got to be real with you. I'm just my opinion. But I'm also telling you that I'm giving him credit, for what he's done since being the OC, for this team. And I know it wasn't easy because you got to remember. Let me see here. I'm sorry. Apex and I having a conversation. Oh, listen. My point on this is with Dable. Look, he's grown. He's gotten better since being the OC of the Buffalo Bills. I still think he has his issues with some things, but he's getting better. But I gotta be real with you as well. Josh Allen is also making him better as an OC. Like Josh Allen is giving him hard to explain. Josh Allen basically is making him better as well. Just like maybe Dable is helping Allen, they are fitting right. I don't know how Dable will be as a head coach is where I'm going with this. Okay. I still think he has a lot to learn, even as an OC. Everywhere Dable's gone in the past, it has not worked out. You could say New England. New England, he was not an offensive coordinator. New England, he was like some, I don't know, assistant coach or something. Nothing to do with offensive coordinator. Alabama, come on, man. Like, I could probably be an OC at Alabama and we would win a championship. It's freaking Alabama. They got the best recruits. They got the best players. They got, right? Like the blue chip players all over the field. Like, don't come with the Dable he won over there at Alabama. I don't even want to hear it, right? Cleveland, he got fired. Miami, he was only 1 year, he got fired. Every NFL team that he was an offensive coordinator, they were last in the league in offense. And I don't want to hear it's about he had shitty players because that's the offensive coordinator job to make the players better. Like that, it's their job to see what is best in their game to fit that system. And he didn't last. Now, he comes to Buffalo. McDermott gives him an opportunity, right? More than one season. Everywhere he's been fired. Everywhere. He's never lasted more than one season, I don't believe, as an OC. So he comes to us. He has a bad 2018. However, you got to remember, we had a bad team. Now, these past teams, they fired him. They didn't give him a chance. Okay, I get that. So Josh Allen's second season, right? He gets better. We get more weapons on wide receivers. So maybe Dable now is getting more creative because he has a little bit more weapons. But it's still his job to put the players in the right position, call the right plays. That's his job. And I feel sometimes in the past, especially in the past, he's made bad decisions. These are just facts. You can't tell me that week one, Dable called a good game. You cannot tell me that. I know that, Scott, you like Dable. That was an awful play calling. You cannot run our $250 million quarterback multiple times quarterback draws. Can't do it. You can't do it. You're going to get him killed. All right. And I keep saying this about Allen. I love Allen running. I love the fact that we can call plays for him running. But it's going to get limited as each year goes by. It has to. Because Allen, he's a quarterback, no matter what you guys think. Yes, he's a big guy. but eventually it's going to take a toll on him. Can't take those hits. You can't. You can't keep doing these plays for a quarterback. Okay, it's gonna take the toll. I mean, look at Cam Newton, right? Cam Newton is not the same. Cam Newton is never going to be the Cam Newton he once was, right? And is that because he took a shitload of hits because he ran a lot? He's just as big as Josh. He's in hella shape. He can run, right? They're very similar size, right? Size, speed, all that stuff. But it took a toll on him, man. He got injured multiple times. And that's it. I don't want to see I don't want to see quarterback jaws over and over and over and over for Josh Allen especially against a good Pittsburgh defense. Dudes that can lay a hit on you. Like big dudes, right? Like that are fast, athletic. TJ Watt, like they're coming to hit you, man. They don't care about Josh Allen's size. I just not like that, man. And he did that, by the way, in the playoffs in 2019, and it drove me nuts in that Houston game. It just drove me insane. But listen, Dable's learning. He definitely is learning. He's gotten better. I got to give him credit. I do. But I'm going to tell you right now, Scott, this is the last season. Dable will not be our OC next season. And Leslie Frazier, the way he's coaching right now, 100%, no doubt in my mind, he is gone. He is gone. I believe he will get a job before Dable gets a job. But I think they both are going to get it. But I think Frazier is going to be one of the hottest coaches, like for a head coaching job. He'll be one of the hottest out there next season. No doubt in my mind, he will be. And a few reasons. Like I said, one, he's a hell of a defensive coordinator. And two, he has head coaching experience. He was the head coach in Minnesota. So he knows the routine. He knows he's been there, done that, right? But now he's mastered his craft a little better, probably, right? He's gotten better as defense coordinator. And man, I'm going to miss him. I will miss Leslie Frazier when he leaves. As far as Dable leaving, listen, Ken Dorsey, I'm going to tell you straight up, man. Ken Dorsey is a smart dude, man. One of the smartest quarterbacks that just wasn't gifted enough to play the position in the NFL. But the dude is going to be a great offensive coordinator. You will see that next season because we are already planning that. I'm telling you right now. Your mind is wrong. Oh, boy. Apex telling me something about my mind is wrong. Your mind is wrong, Tommy. His only option last year. Wait. Your mind is wrong, Tommy. His only option last year was the Texans. What are you talking about? You talking about head coaching job? You talking about for head coaching? I'm confused on that. Let me see here. Teams are dumb and looking for young guys. Oh, it's talking about for head coach, right? Nah, man. Listen, that's not always true. There's been coaches old coaches that get jobs. I get what you're saying. They're trying to go with like college level, but I'm telling you right now, I'll promise you, I'll guarantee it. Especially if we win a Super Bowl, which I predict we're going to win a Super Bowl. Both those guys are gone. Both those guys are gone. I'm telling you right now. You mark my word. Remember. And by the way, Mikey, I'm right 2 weeks in a row. So don't question Tommy. You can't question me, buddy. Okay, that's 2 weeks in a row. All right, I predicted pretty much the score and Josh Allen's stats. So what I say is right all the time. Hey, I'll bet that all day. I'm telling you right now. Listen, I think Dable was upset that he didn't even get a job offer this past season. Leslie Frazier was really upset about it. He just didn't say much. But no, man, trust me. You're listen. There's a lot of young coaches out there, like you said, but a lot of these young coaches are failing. They're not doing so hot, right? And then, just to prove a point too, look at the coach for Jacksonville, I think Urban Meyer, right, is his name, who came into the NFL. It ain't gonna work, buddy. Not gonna work out. Some of these coaches are not made for the NFL. That's been proven in the past. These guys go right back to college. Okay, not every college young coach works out. Doesn't work that way. It's a different kind of game, man. I'm telling you right now. I'll bet you all day on that. But anyways, getting off that Dable crap. I do want to talk about real quick. I don't know if I talked about this. Isaiah McKenzie, real quick. He's 8th in the league in punt return average at 10 yards. But he's doing a hell of a job, man. Filling in for Roberts, and I knew that was going to be the case. I was just worried a little bit about the fumble thing, but he's handled his own, man. He really did. And by the way, that kick that Washington did, Sunday, I've never seen that. I've never seen that kick before. I think it's fucking brilliant by Washington. I would listen if if I'm the special teams coach for Buffalo, I am working with Tyler Bass on that play, on that kick return, on that kickoff, as an onside kick kind of variation. Because that is, listen, if you could boot the fucking ball that high in the air, I mean, you're giving a. I think that's just brilliant. You're like, you are giving your defense, your special teams, a real opportunity to get that onside kick, and they sure as fuck did that. Nobody saw that coming. I mean, Mikey? Have you ever seen that? I've never seen that. I've seen kicks high and like a little short, but not high and like long. Like that was the most craziest shit I've ever seen, man. And I think all of our special team they didn't know what to do. Like they were lost. You've never seen it because normal teams back catch it. Yeah, but okay, listen, Mikey, what I'm saying is I get what you're saying, but it wasn't to the end zone. Listen, most kickoffs go to the end zone at least, right? So players are usually in the end zone for that kick return, right? That kick was high into like the 15-yard line, 20, right? So you would either had to, Isaiah would have had to read that perfectly, one, right? To know that kick is going super high and to about the 15, 20-yard line, run up, and then fair catch it coming down, right? Or a blocker would have had to call a fair catch on that and be there. By the way, they have to catch the ball, right? I think that was brilliant. I've really never seen that. And you're right, Scott. When had something to do that? Yeah, no doubt. But we play in Buffalo, remember? So, like, get what I'm saying? Like, I'm almost sure not Dawson Knox. I'm almost sure Tyler Bass is on the sideline thinking to himself, "God damn, like I wonder if I can do that shit." And I'm sure he could. Like you're telling me our special teams coach didn't probably go over and shake their hand, that special teams coach hand after the game, say, "God damn, that was fucking brilliant." Nobody saw that coming. I don't care what you guys say, what could have been done differently. I don't think honestly, that play would have to be done multiple times for teams to eventually play for it, meaning know how it's going to work, right? Kind of like the Wildcat, right? It got done so much that it's not, you can defend it now, right? Like you can prepare for the Wildcat. But when the Dolphins initially did that, right, in that game, especially the game versus New England, they were fucking lost. They had no idea what to do. So I'm telling you, man, if teams can do that, yeah, listen, I would take that over a basic onside kick any day of the week because you cannot, it's different now onside kicks. You can't run. You got to wait till the ball's in the air or something like that to run. So if the ball is way high in the air, man, your defenders can be there positioning themselves for the ball. I mean, I don't know. I think it's pretty tricky. Mckenzie said, what is the same? Mckenzie said, F no, I'm not getting wiped out. Right. Exactly. Dude, you got everybody there, bro, and the ball's hanging. Like I said, you just have to play. You got to play that perfectly. That kick was done beautiful. I can't hate. I cannot hate on that. They had to have worked that kickoff like constantly because he did that perfect. But anyways, back on Mckenzie's doing a great job. Kick returning, punt returning, 8th in the league. I cannot complain. I think a lot of people were worried about that. No worries. And by the way, I believe Marquez Stevenson is available to come back. I believe this game. I believe Mikey. Do you know about that? Is he coming back? Is he able to return against the Texans, or is it the Chiefs game? If you can pull that up or let me know, I'm pretty sure it could be the Texans game. I really listen. I like what I thought they were going to do with Marquez. Was going to have Marquez do kick return and Isaiah do punt return, but they may mix it up. They may mix it up with Marquez because I think the coaches really like Marquez. And I did a video when they drafted Marquez Stevenson. I thought he was a steal of the draft for us, like our steal of the draft. 6th round, my God, like this dude has some blazing speed. I thought he had some really good seasons with Houston as far as receiving yards go. I think he did 2 years with over 1,000. He did one that was almost 1,000. So it's not like he was just strictly a kick returner. The dude had some skills. And for the 6th round, fuck, dude, I'll take that all day. And look what he did in the not playoffs. Look what he did in preseason. Preseason, he was one of our better players. Like he showed up when it counted, right? He had the punt return for a touchdown, which by the way, he was on a bum ankle, still returned it for a touchdown. He made some of the biggest plays in the game. I believe it was the first week that had us win the game, basically. A 4th down, unbelievable catch. So I'm kind of excited to see him play. I hope he's ready, and I hope the coaches give him an opportunity. Why not? And you know what? Why not against Houston? If he's able to play, that's a perfect opponent to put him against, right? Honestly, if you're gonna try to see what he can do, that's a perfect game right there against Houston, in my opinion, right? And I think let me see here. What else? So yeah, man. That is it. That's all I got for you guys, man. Listen, I've been on this motherfucker for an hour and a half. I appreciate you guys for stopping in. Mikey, what Charles? I'm sorry, Charles. What's up, brother? You're coming to the show late. I don't even know if you've been here for a minute, man. My bad, brother. But yeah, hey, what you guys? I guess you guys are on here now. Before I get off. What you guys think? What's your score prediction? I'm going to give mine on Friday, but what's your guys' score prediction against Houston in the chat? What you guys think? Go ahead, Mikey. Listen, if you guys know Mikey, you guys watch the show Tailgate Talk on hashtag, you know he's probably going to give the score to be like, he's probably going to say to me 24-16 Buffalo. Like, knowing Mikey. Like, it'll be something crazy low. Listen, I'll give you guys a little hint. My score is going to be in the high. I'm just going to say it's going to be above 40. But I'll give my exact score prediction on Friday. It's going to be well over 40. How about that? Scott says 38-3. I like that prediction, Scott Blakely. I do. I like it. Oh, Mikey now. Buffalo by 1 billion. Oh, Mikey. So Mikey's learning now. Mikey is trusting Tommy with these high score predictions, man. It's coming to find out mine. All right, Mikey. Hey, so guys, man, I am out, man. I appreciate everybody for watching. Listen, on Fridays. Oh, Jack, hold on. Let me see what you got. 35-10, man. No, that's a good score prediction. I got us way higher, man. But listen, Jack, Scott, Charles. I don't know if you jumped on here late, man, but Friday I'll be on hashtag sports. I do a show at 7:30 Eastern time called Tailgate Talk with Apex 00, which you see him chatting there. That's Mikey. We go live at 7:30 every Friday. And then me, I also will do a video Friday Forget about it. That'll be my outrageous forget about it episode. And then I'll be on here, I guess, every Monday doing post games, man. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming in, man. And I am out. Go Bills.